I said, can we meet with the Huntsmans? And Julie and I went down to meet with John Huntsman Jr. in 2003 when he was going to maybe run for governor. And that little 10-minute meeting turned into 30-minute meeting, turned into, hey, come on back next week. And then by the time we got to the end of October, it was Halloween, actually, that John Huntsman called and said, we'd like to offer you a job to be the communications person here. And it paid about 75% less than what I'd been used to making. And Julie and I talked about it, we prayed about it, and decided that we would take a chance. And about 6 weeks after I got there, John Huntsman and I were driving down I-15 there in Utah, and he said, hey, congratulations. I said, what's that, John? And he said, you're going to be the campaign manager. And I said, whoa, time out. I've never done this. I've never done this. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I've never run for governor before. Okay. So he was running and ran against an incumbent Republican governor, Olene Walker, and 9 people in the field, and he won. I tried to convince him it was brilliant campaign management. He reminded me that he had a few $1 million to throw in the race, and that was certainly helpful. But he was a good person and running for all the right reasons. And we had a very similar conversation. John said, hey, congratulations. You're going to be my new chief of staff. I said, whoa, John, 22,000 employees, a $13-14 billion budget? I've never done that. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. I've never been governor before. We'll figure it out. There's a lesson in that it's sort of the Good to Great book that many of you may have read. Get the right people on the bus, and you can figure it out. And as you engage in the community and public affairs and politics, go out and find good people. The best people that I found in the campaign were the people that had no time. Those are your people that you want. If they have a lot of time on their hands, there's a reason why they have all this time on their hands, okay? The people who told me, I don't have any time for this, I thought, perfect. It reminds me when I was on stage with 2 people I really admire last night, Mike Kaufman and Ken Buck. And to serve in the United States Congress is truly an honor and a privilege. It reminded me when I first got elected, before I got sworn in, I visited with Jim Hansen. Jim had served in the Congress for 22 years from Utah. And I said, as I always say to a lot of people, I don't know what I don't know, so tell me what I need to know. And he said, listen, when you get to Congress, you're going to be pinching yourself. You're not going to believe you're there. You're going to keep asking yourself, how did I get here? And he said, the moment that feeling, that little tingle down your spine when you see the Capitol or when you walk on the floor of the House, if that tingle ever goes away, it's time to go home. And sure enough, it is so true. When you get there and you see it and you understand the history and the weight of things that are before this country, and you start to look around and you just think, how did I get here? But then he said, you know what, about 6 months in, things are going to change a little bit. And he was so exactly right, because 6 months in, you walk on that floor and you're looking around and you still think, how did I get here? But at about 6 months, you look around and you think, how did they all get here?